I would like to apologize for the summary. I thought this was the chapter Conquest was going to show up in. That's later on. Oh, admit it. You want it to be quicker. Yeah, I kinda do. I think of you in my dreams, hoping that we're meant to be. Spike soared through the air, his stomach burning and his heart in shambles. The fight he just had with Sweetie Belle was still fresh in his mind. He could not believe what she had just told him, and he didn't. Because he's being a whiny little cuss. He heard what Rarity said with his own ears. How she thought he was a beast, and how she wished he had left a long time ago. He flew to Ponyfield Park, a place he liked to go when he was upset. He perched himself on a large, thick branch of an oak tree. As he sat down, he took a look at the view. The night was full blue, all the stars dying in the sky like little diamonds on a violet veil. He looked at Luna's moon, bright and round in the sky. So alone she must have been, 1,000 years in exile with no point to comfort her. No friends, no love. It reminded him of his situation. Oh yes, Spike. So totally similar. I mean, she was trapped out there in a horrible nightmare of her own making and was forced to forever watch as her evil counterpart began to plan and desire and cause mayhem and corruption. Once he got back, almost killed the entire planet underneath nightfall. Oh, by the way, yes, I said kill the planet under a cold eternal night. Nice try, episode, but we all know what was going to happen. Even Lauren Faust pointed it out. I thank you for trying to create an alternate universe with Nightmare Moon just to show off Nightmare Moon, but, let's face it, you guys aren't the original writers, and you were trying to sanitize it. Bravo. Bravo. I have no doubt that there was some explanation for why everybody was living under eternal night, but if you were going to pull that off, you should have done it with more than 25 minutes, with more than 5 minutes. I mean, totally, it's the same, Spike. I mean, she got exiled because of her envy and anger and her feeling that nobody enjoyed her art. You broke up with a girl. Totally the same. And you've got no friends. Except for Twilight. And Applejack. Also Ponyville. And you have no point to comfort you. Except for your friends. Also Ponyville. Totally the same, you asshole. It's all true, he said out loud. I'm just a big, scary monster. A villain in a Felix tale. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. She knew I had a crush on her. She knew ever since my birthday, and she just uses me to find gems. He felt the fire burn in his belly, beginning to explode. What kind of mere place with someone's emotions like that? He yelled, steam blowing out his nose. He gave a loud roar as his mouth burst into green fire. A steam of molten fire flew into the air. When the burning in his gut was gone, he stopped to look at his flames. He always loved his fire. The color and stripe he had behind it made him feel better. Sometimes he saw patterns in the flames. He looked closely at the jade-colored fire was sun. Before the flame flickered out, he could have sworn the flames were in the shape of a heart. His heart started to ache. Who am I kidding? I love her! He took a deep breath. Why did he love someone who could never love him back? Spike slid from the tree and fell to the ground. A pain spiked in his stomach, but he ignored it. It was nothing compared to the pain in his broken heart. Slowly he began his journey home. Normally it would take him 30 minutes or less to get to the library. But he wasn't focusing on just going home, just on walking into the night. Spike heard the steady beat of music calling in the distance as he was walking. Confused, he started to follow the noise. He led back to the treehouse. All the lights were on and there was a strong aroma of cake in the air. Another Pinkie party, he thought to himself, as he smiled. He really is tearing up right now. What better way to get happy than a party? He slowly opened the door to the library, only to be met with a explosive confetti. Surprise! screamed several ponies, followed by joyful cheering. Pinky quickly approached him, dragging him into the house. "Hi, Spike! I am so glad you can make it to your party!" He cheered, an odd statement considering he lived here. "I did this party just for you, because you're a hero, and every pony in town wanted to come and celebrate, and I was like..." He suddenly gagged on a hope full of cake that Twilight shoved in her face. Twilight rolled her eyes and gave Spike a hug. "I'm glad you're back," he was feeling better, she said. She was tearing up, but Spike knew they were tears of joy. Spike smiled, nuzzling the unicorn. "It's good to be back," he said. "Now come on, Twi," said Applejack, shooting over the crowd. "Let the dragon go. He can't enjoy the party with we all holding him tired and away hung on wrestling day." "Sorry," Twilight says he let go of the dragon with a red face. "Since I missed you so much, Spike." "It's okay, Twilight. I missed you too," he says, crunching at Twilight's mane before heading to the party. Pinky had really all gone out in this party. The ponies were dancing and mingling steady to the beat of the party music. And the group of ponies were at the makeshift bar, taking, from what could he tell, body shots. Every pony seemed to be having a good time. Every pony. He walked over to the bar and grabbed a bottle of hard cider, and were talking to one of the tables that Pinky had set up. He had ordered his drink when an ultra-familiar voice whispered in his ear, "Guess who?" "Hello, Lyra. So Baba-Ba's here somewhere nearby?" he asked the green unicorn. "You know it," her cream-colored companion said. The two took seats next to the dragon. "So, how was the hospital?" "Not bad. There was this hot nurse there that gave you a sponge bath," he grinned. "Ooh, kinky." "Yeah, real kinky. Washing shit, dried blood, pus, smegma, all that grime from your balls. Kinky. I just love doing it." "Would you also like to hear the stuff I have to wash out and from behind the ears too, and what it's made out of?" "You do it with her?" she asked. "I highly doubt it, Lie," said Bon Bon. "You wouldn't want to hurt the missus," she giggled. "Don't," said the dragon, not in the mood. Bon Bon saw how serious the dragon looked, and quickly tried to change the subject. "So, do you have any scars?" she asked. "Yeah, come on, show us," begged Lyra. The dragon sighed. "I have this one on my eye," he said, pointing to his face. "Whoa," guessed Lyra. "That's so cool. You look like a badass now." "Actually, I think he looks like a cliche." "Come on, scars over the eye are all passé. Everybody knows that the cool scars are the cross-shaped ones on your left cheek." "I didn't before?" "No, not really. I also have this massive one on my stomach you probably noticed." "Can we see it?" asked Bon Bon. Sprite shook his head. "Not allowed to take the bandage off. Might still be healing." "Well, that sucks," groaned Lyra. "Got any more?" "I got this one in my hand. Damn dog bit me," he growled, memory still fresh in his mind. "So tell us what happened," asked Lyra. Piggy tried to explain it, but she's not the most reliable source of information. "Well, there we were. I was flying in the air. The freaking dog just slashed my stomach open and was clinging to my foot." The two ponies gasped as he listened to the tale. My blood was pouring down his face, but I could still make out a sick, evil smile. So I grabbed him from my foot and started to strangle him. His tone was getting darker. The ponies completely engulfed his tail. I could feel the life leaving his body, but he kept on laughing. He was dying and was laughing. Then he said that he put me over the edge. "What?" the cream-colored mare asked in fear in her voice. "He said, and I'll never forget this, I got inside of her." Lyra and Bon Bon were dead silent. The dragon's face was set of all emotion as he stared at the two ponies. "I don't know if he was telling the truth or was just trying to piss me off, but I just lost it," Spike said. Lyra gulped a giant lump in her throat. "What did you do?" "Simple," he said grimly. "I tore his freaking head off." "How?" "It was easy," he said, raising his honorable ball, "like flicking off a bottle cap." He said as he flicked his finger up, the tin bottle caps launching out the bottle with ease. "Wait a minute. Spike is supposedly a teenager, right?" "Yeah." "He's drinking booze." "Yeah." "What's the drinking age in Equestria?" "Not a teenager, trust me." Look, guys, just because the Equestrian Girls universe has everybody there as a teenager, it was only for that universe to service the plot. In our world, they are adults. It's about a year before landing on the table with eerie clang. Spike lifted up the ball to his lips as he emptied the contents of the ball in his mouth. He dropped the ball on the ground and looked at his friends. There was a look of shock frozen on their face. "I'll go get some air," he told them. He didn't know if they heard him or not. To be honest, he didn't care. He slowly pushed through the crowd of points and headed upstairs to the balcony. The air was still cool, and the sky was still clear, as Spike headed out into the balcony. He leaned on the balcony and looked about town as he called home. His claw ran down his face as he thought what he just told Lyra and Bonbon. He would have to apologize to them. He didn't deserve anything to deserve that. They asked for a story. They're fine. He was so consumed by his thoughts he didn't hear the purple mare coming from behind him. "Spike, is everything okay?" she asked him, walking up next to him. "Of course, never better," he lied. "Spike, you know you can't lie to me," she told him. "No matter how hard you try." Yep, Spike, totally like Luna. Luna had a Twilight too, you know. Spike smiled at Twilight's comment. "Come on, Spike, you can tell me anything, you know that." Spike sighed. "Alright, Twilight, I'll tell you," he said as he explained what happened at Rarities. "You hurry up, you've been there for almost an hour!" Sleepbell screamed at her sister through the door in the bathroom. "The party just started!" Rarity had just walked out of the bath. All the blood and grime was stuck to her coat had vanished. Her hair was steamy and hung down in almost seductive manner. "I'm almost done. I just need to decide if I'm going to wear my hair up or down." "Oh, my Celestia, who gives a bug what your hair looks like?" Slee yelled from beyond the door. Rarity guessed. "Sweetie Bear! A lady never goes out in public with her hair out of the place." Groaned Sweetie, clearly irritated by her sister and obsessed with her hair. "Fine. You don't hurry up. I'm just going to go to the party myself." Then she had an idea. "Think of the reactions everybody will have if you found out you're late for the party. It'll be very unladylike of you." Rarity's mind quickly snapped back to reality as he quickly shook her mane. Magically fell to her normal style. I'm coming! She said as he ran out the door. "Come on, Sweetie, hurry up. We can't be tardy." Sleepbell face hooked as the last comment as he followed her sister out the boutique. Twilight listened to every word Spike had to say. She could not help but feel bad for him. It was, after all, like a little brother to her. "Spike, if you feel that way about her, you should tell her that." "Because," he tried to say. There was nothing but depressed in his voice as he feared he would cry again. And there was one point he didn't want to call her in front of. It was Twilight. "You're an idiot!" "Look at me, Twilight. Rarity wanted a prince. She deserves a prince. I'm just a dragon. A dragon prince. A monster of fairy tales. What about the Riders of Bardane? You know, that series? Or, you could be like Toothless. He's adorable. He's a dragon. She just thinks of me as a mobile pish because of a stupid little crush." "Well, to be fair, Spike, you kinda are. And let's face it, excluding a certain season 8 or 9 episode, was it? Verity's only accepting help because you offered. She is still fully capable of doing it on her own. Except for that OOC episode. That was stupid. Yeah, I'm calling it out. It was stupid. What, did they think Rarity never moved a muscle or did anything on her own before Spike came into the picture? She has her own business, guys. Come on. "That's not true, Spike." Twilight says. She slowly struck her dragon's arm. "You're more than a friend, cousin. You're her friend." That was not what the dragon wanted to hear. "That's the problem. I've always loved her and I'm stuck in the friend zone." "Oh no, not that. Not the friend zone. Oh no. Anything but that. I still have to help and be nice to a good friend." She always wanted her perfect stallion and not me. He sighed, looking towards the mountains where the large castle city like a Camelot was cooking. Maybe I could reintroduce her to Prince Blueblood. I heard he wasn't a jerk anymore. What? Twilight felt a wave of compassion wash over her for her dragon. She quickly moved to hug the dragon. The warmth of the body warmed up her heart. You're a great guy, Spike. You can't let anybody tell you otherwise. She looked up into his emerald eyes, right before giving a quick kiss on his cheek. I love you, Spike, she said. I know you do, he said, giving the unicorn a tender kiss on her forehead. She broke away from the dragon, smiling, and headed to the door. Ain't back at sight, Twilight? He asked. Yeah. I'm going to go get some more cake. She looked back into the house. Besides, I should probably give you two some privacy. Spike scrunched his scarred eye with confusion. Two? Twilight smiled as a white mare walked to the door, made of deep purple, and blue eyes she fell in love with. Twilight gave Rarity a hug before leaving. Please be careful with him. He means so much to me, and I don't want to see him get hurt again. Don't worry, darling, the white unicorn reassured her. Never again, she said. And with that, Twilight left down the stairs, closing the door magically behind her. Spike was certain that he was going to have a heart attack. His stomach rose, he felt weak around the legs. Some of it may have been the result of his injuries, but he couldn't help but feel this way as Rarity slowly made her way over to Spike. Spike tried to keep his voice as calm as possible, but he knew he couldn't. So, how long have you been here? He says. Long enough to know that Blueblood is still a jerk, she responded, inching closer to Spike. How do you know that? Asked the dragon. Darling, I make trips to Canterlot all the time. It's where I find new styles for my gala dresses. She told him as if it were obvious. It is obvious. I mean, she's a business mare. She needs to keep in the know of, the fashion life. How does she know what's hip if she doesn't travel? I tried to talk to him once, and he still hasn't had the slightest idea how to treat a lady. I mean, it's not just me, people. I'm not the only one who remembers business mare. She makes her own clothes. She works for a living. Oh, he said, trying to hide a smile. I'm sorry you had to put up with him again. Don't be, she smiled. He's a jackass. Hi. And no offense, good sir. I mean, it's one of the things I love about her. She works for a living. She is a business mare. She actually has to do her job. Hate to tell you this, folks, but that type of job ain't easy. The two laughed as they stared out Luna's beautiful night. The blue light seemed to make Rarity's diamond white coat shine even more than usual, as her whole body was perfect gem. The two stood there in the night, not saying anything. So, is that how you really feel about me? Rarity asked, breaking the silence. This was it. Spike knew his chance was finally to tell her how he felt. His heart told him to let it all out, to tell her the truth. For some reason he couldn't. He just froze up. Spike knew full well that the silence was going too much long. He needed an answer for her. He started to breathe heavily, trying to calm his nerve. Spike, are you all right? Asked Rarity, concerned for the dragon. He stopped breathing and quickly shook his nerve away. He summoned whatever courage he had laid in his bowels for an answer. He knew exactly what to tell her. Rarity, I've always loved you. But you've always wanted a gentle clone, and that's not me. It's like you said, I'm just a beast around you, he said in a dreary voice. Spike, no, that's wrong. She started to say before getting cut off by Spike. Rarity, all I ever want for you is to be happy. You won't be happy with a monster like me. I just want what's best for you. Rarity's eyes were watering. You're not the sponsor, Spike. That's what I heard you say back in the hospital when you were yelling at Twilight. You told me that you should have let go and hard gold like all the other dragons instead of keeping me. She said no such thing. She said just to let you grow up and be a dragon. I was tired and hungry, Spike, she said, streams pouring down her face. I didn't need your side for a second. I didn't mean anything. I said I even broke down outside the room, taking everything back. I never tried to hurt you, Spike. Rarity, he began. You're the most beautiful, generous, and loving pony in all of Equestria. No pony even comes close to you. You're an element of harmony for Luna's sake. I'm just a janitor for an OC unicorn who's fallen asleep and drooled on half of the books of the library. Spike took a final breath. I understand if you don't want to talk to me anymore. Rarity felt a restless sadness crawl up her body. She had not realized how much she had hurt her dragon. It pained her to see Spike like this. The dragon had grown in love with some pain for her. He had done so much for her and treated her like a princess, even though she caused her so much distress. All he wanted was for her to be happy. She had been so selfless over these years. Some element of generosity she turned out to be. Rarity's tears got larger and shinier, so Spike wiped her tears away. Please don't cry. I hate when you cry, he said, flicking another salty tear off her face. Rarity's heart was warmed by his words. She turned around and stood up on her hind legs to try and match Spike's height. She looked back into his caring, beautiful green eyes and said something she should have said a long time ago. Spike, grow up. James! Spike! Grow back, Pevin. Spike, James! Spike! Ember exists, go to her. Spike, I'm sorry I've hurt you so much. Everything I said at the hospital meant nothing, and I assumed your crush on me was just a cute little phase. After your birthday, I found out I had feelings for you. But you were young, and I thought you'd grow out of it. As you got older, it became more caring and sensitive than any other cultist nanny in this town. You're always there for me, you know, when my so-called tentacles went. There was a pause. She was really going to say it. Spike, I fell in love with you, and I couldn't bring myself to confess my feelings to you. I'm sorry for all of this, all your pain, your depression. It's all my fault. Rarity finished with tears pouring down her cheek. Spike smiled back at her, wiping her tears away with a gentle, loving stroke of his claw. Rarity, I'll always love you. It doesn't matter who you choose to be with. I'll always be there for you. And again, this makes Spike more mature and stronger than all of Micah's characters. Rarity continued to cry, only this time it was into Spike's chest. As she embraced him, Spike welcomed this, slowly stroking his claw down her mane. They stayed like this for several minutes, eventually Rarity's cry began to die down. She too slowly pushed herself away from Spike, but still remained close to her dragon. She knew who she would choose. She knew it all along. With nothing but love in her voice, she finally confessed what she should have done so many years ago to the child! I choose you, Spike! What? I said I choose you. Look, there's a giant chomp over there that I want the cats, and I need you. Right. Dun, 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 dun. Spike's heart might have just exploded right there. He wasn't sure why he had just heard Rarity correctly. Still unbelievable, he didn't make sure. Are you sure? He called. Rarity closed the small gap between her and Spike as he stretched her front hooves around the dragon's long, scaly neck. Fritz was a few inches from his. She batted her eyes and gave him a sexy little grin. Would this answer your question? She cooed as she closed the gap, placing a kiss on his lips. Spike knew his heart exploded that time. Russer passed it over, took his body, his claws gently dragging down Rarity's back and stopping on her hips. This was it! As he finally kissed Rarity. All his wild fancies, and he couldn't lay a claw on a real thing. He pressed his body close to hers. Her coat was as soft as the clouds, and he wanted this feeling to last forever. Twilight had been watching from the window. She didn't like spying on ponies, but she was just had to make sure everything went okay. He's finally happy. She sighed happily. Tears of joy sprang from her eyes. As she turned around to head downstairs, the rest of the gang were looking at the guests in alarm. Oh, hello, Twilight, said Fluttershy in her usual timid tone. We need Spike down the stairs. Rarity has a cake. I have the world's greatest, super most terrific cake for him, and it's just so good! Burst Pinkie Pie. I made it just for you. He has his face drawn on the cake, and I made it out of diamonds, and it was hard, but the cake's helped me out. Kind Pinkie has rainbow shelter cupcake in her mouth. Applejack rolled her eyes. Well, Blake is trying to say is we can't have a hero party without a hero. Where's that big loser anyways? She asked. Twilight started to blush in the question. You okay, Sugar Cube? You're turning rare to a sunburned apple. Twilight started looking nervously. Well, he stepped outside for a second. Said he needed to get some fresh air. That's all, I swear. Right, Rainbow said bluntly. It's such a bad liar, Twi. We all know he's outside with Rarity. We're the ones that told her where he was. We just want to know why it's taking so long. Well, for your information, they're a little busy at the moment. They'll come out when they're good and ready, Twilight said, steering the ponies away from Love's door. I suggest we head back downstairs and let them know when they're finished. Rainbow's face went blank, wondering what she meant. It took a few seconds, but soon her eyes went wide, realizing what she meant. Oh, she groaned, flying downstairs. The rest of the ponies laughed as they followed her down. Twilight stood up at the top of the stairs. She looked back and smiled before following the rest of the ponies down to the party. The two lovers parted from their kiss, staring deeply into each other's eyes. Rarity's gleamed as Luna's moon reflected in them. The stars, nothing in comparison. They looked at each other for what seemed like forever. Rarity was the first one to speak, breaking the silence with her gentle, love-struck voice. You're a horrible kisser. I'm sorry, I just always wanted that type of ending. Green certainly is a nice color, Spike grinned. You think? He said in a playful tune, checking out his body. Of course, darling. You made me realize that. She smiled, nuzzling Spike. Slowly, the nuzzle evolved into another kiss. This one was more passionate, as the two locked themselves in another embrace, the adrenaline coursing through their bodies. Spike felt a little push on his mouth, something wet. He gladly parted his lips as he struck her sweet, tasty tongue into his mouth. Soon he had a snake-like tongue in her mouth, so that a moment of pleasure as the kiss became more and more passionate. The two were so busy, they didn't notice the rain that started to pour down on them. Seconds later, Rarity slowly pushed her down to the ground. Spike let himself fall to the balcony floor as the rain poured down on his body. As soon as he hit the ground, he felt a joy and pain in his stomach and stopped back up. Rarity looked concerned, but was about to put at ease as Spike gave her a playful grin. Rarity slid herself onto Spike's way by. The rain was really starting to come down, and so did too. Rarity's hair started to uncurl from the rainwater, somehow becoming even more beautiful. Most beautiful night ever, Rarity said, looking into the sky. Spike smiled. Most beautiful pony ever. Rarity turned her head back to the dragon. He had that heart-melting smile that she loved. She dove back into his mouth as the rain shower showered her back. I love you, Rarity. I love you too, Spike.